Western Kenya is often held as a vote bank, a region where political fortunes are made. But for too many people there, the prosperity that should follow those thousands of votes has remained elusive. Today, I want to ask, when votes are harvested, are development gains being reaped too?
There is something wrong in our home counties. And if we do not raise our voices, if we pursue this route of us being organized here in Nairobi, that either you belong to the opposition or to the government, or you are part of the misunderstood or ununderstood thing called the broad-based, we will sink even further. We will spend all our working hours, Senator Mtata, thinking about how nice, how God sent the broad-based government was, when in actual effect, poverty continues to rise in our backyards. Madam Speaker, when you look at these counties, these billions, and of course, as expected, our share from the 85% that remains at the national government is supposed to open our economy. How do you expect the markets in Vihiga, for example, to be optimally productive if the infrastructure is not opened? Vihiga trades with Kakamega, trades with Nandi. And if you come from Kakamega to go and do business in Vihiga, in Jeptul, in Mudete, in Shamahoho, and in Serem, Madam Speaker, it is impossible. Why? Because the national government has been promising our people, election after election, including the election of 2022, that they will fix the road infrastructure. 3 budgets after we won the election in 2022, Senator Sozi, I wonder, why is it still impossible to fix the road from Hamisi to Shamahoho, Shamahoho to Kaimosi, Kaimosi to Muhudu, Muhudu to Impaka, Impaka to Shiveye, Shiveye to Museno in Kakamega, so that our people can do business? And this is a project which, Madam Speaker, with due respect, when we were attempting to win the election in 2022, we did regional economic caucuses where we identified the potential areas. And now that Azimio, which did the same exercise with Kenya Kwanza, they are both in the same government. In fact, Azimio is now holding the purse strings. They are at the National Treasury. Why is it difficult? Or is there something wrong if development is tweaked to go to the counties of Western Kenya? Senator Osoti, something is wrong. In fact, Peter Kivisu is standing in his grave. The man who stood in this house and voted against government when himself at that time was assistant minister.
Politicians flock here during election season, winning voters' hearts with the promises of development. Yet once ballots are counted, those commitments often disappear and poverty stays. The contrast is sharp, politically pivotal, yet economically sidelined. The numbers are just here. According to IEBC, the region has over 2 million votes, and in the previous election, over 2 million people voted, with Kakamega having the highest number of voters. These are not just numbers, they are people, thousands of voices that choose leaders years after years. Yet there's a poverty reality here. But how much do these counties gain when they vote? Unfortunately, very little. For example, Busia has one of the highest poverty rates in non-arid Kenya, yet it consistently delivers strong vote numbers, for Raila Odinga, but without development attached to it. Same story can be said in Kakamega, Vihiga, Bungoma. Political capital is strong, but social capital remains weak in this region. Western Kenya has resources, potential, and a strong civic presence. It can be a development engine, but only if leaders stop treating it as a vote-rich region and start seeing it as a value-rich partner. Infrastructure, healthcare, education, real investment is important in this region. But for many years, what we have is just lip service. Raila Amolo Odinga has enjoyed support from this region, but when he does handshake, with those in power, he doesn't go to the region with the development, but he awaits another election cycle to go back there to consolidate the region to vote for him. But when it comes to development again, he disappears. And also we have the likes of Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi, who right now hold senior positions in the government, but always continue to sideline the region from development. What we only have them do in the region is economic empowerment programs, which do not have any policy bearing. So at the end of it, the region is left behind. The region is left sinking into poverty further and further. And remember this is a region which has the highest population in this country. Luyas who hail from Western Kenya register one of the highest numbers in terms of population in this country. But that region is always neglected when it comes to development. When a region which has the second largest tribe is left behind in development, it means that the development of this country is significantly affected, because that's a region with a huge potential, but it's always left behind, because even just the people in that region can provide labor necessary to develop Kenya. But what is happening is that the region is neglected. So this is a conversation that people should start if truly Western Kenya has to develop economically. Otherwise, we shall continue having situations where the region only votes, so that people like Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula, and others can just be in power at the expense of development, at the expense of the region. So that's a conversation that people should have, so that tough questions are asked. Are we just voting machines, or we deserve real development? And in this video that you watched, Boniface Halwale painted a significant picture of what reflects what is on the ground. But come 2027, we expect at least a change, because President Ruto relies on the region to be re-elected. But right now is the president, and the region still complains that there's no development. So Western Kenya should have a conversation. Should we just be voting machines, or we should actually have development matching our votes and the population and the potential the region has? This is Owen Analysis.